Good day, everyone. Greetings of peaceful, prosperous, and of course, healthy day to all of you. I'd like to congratulate the UST Alumni Association and this powerful committee behind the Academe Alumni and Industry Government Collaboration Project, which brings together the four major pillars of the educational system to transform it towards a better normal, not just the new normal.
There are three things that we can do together, not just in this summit, in the classroom, but also in the offices that we're in. The first one really is about falling in love with the subjects that we're passionate about. Because falling in love in those subjects allows us to contribute and be complementing one another. The second thing that we can do is really about communicating, engaging, and actively participating in the discourse. And maybe last point really is, it is important that leadership skills of empathy, listening, finding your own purpose, communicating, and collaboration continue to be an important and fundamental part of the education system that we have, but also a very important part of the society that we continue to live in.
If Education 4.0 is how we should help transition our students to Industry 4.0, then it must also be a purposeful transformation to the learning experience by emphasizing to students, faculty members, and school administrators to take on challenges head-on. This summit, which we started in 2019, is an important down payment for that transition. And we thank the UST Alumni Association and its partners for underwriting that down payment. And we all have roles to play. We'll be paid by experimenting together, sharing knowledge, welcoming new partners, and by harnessing the actions of the Academe, alumni, industries, and governments.
As our nation progresses in this battle against the pandemic, extraordinary collaborations between all stakeholders need to be instituted. Through partnerships and collaborations, stakeholders from all sectors of the society unite towards the improvement of education with our learners at the core of our collective societal transformation. Our universities and colleges will continue to serve their mandates to advance knowledge through teaching and research, and will continue to democratize technical expertise to the respective immediate communities. While our higher education institutions uphold these mandates, the Commission also secures its directive of coordinated partnerships with all the sectors of our society.
May I encourage my fellow alumni in the UST and all our colleagues from the Academe to advocate and look into pursuing and offering TVET qualifications in your institutions, especially in your engineering programs and architecture. We need the practical side of TVET in order to produce well-rounded engineering professionals. We have to reskill and upskill existing workers and new entrants to the world of work for them to be able to bounce back. This is also our contribution to the MSMEs and of course to the National Employment Strategy, revitalization of employment. As the world of work is drastically changing, shifting to remote or hybrid forms of work, so does TVET need to be transformed as well. TVET delivery should focus on industry and academic partnership and collaboration.
Our educational institutions should fill two other roles. One is research and development of new technologies, products, and services. This is woefully lacking in our Philippine educational institutions today. The second is to be a stimulus for the growth and development of the communities around it. It is imperative that we restructure our education system immediately. We cannot stand still. We must redouble our efforts to shorten the gap or even overtake the other countries.
So let me just emphasize that investments in new technologies, digitalization, and innovation are investments on resilience, sustainability, competitiveness, and long-term business growth, which are all necessary as we enter our economic recovery. Together, let us help create a strong manufacturing industry. And by manufacturing, I also include industry and services that will build back better a more competitive and innovative Philippines, as envisioned by our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
We have to practice multi-stakeholder collaboration to enable the digital readiness of our learners. This is what we have learned in practicing sustainability. The problems that we have are so big that we cannot do it alone. And so what we need to do is to partner and collaborate with other institutions, even corporates, that have the knowledge and that have the resources to help. And with this partnership, we will be able to address some, if not all of the problems that are facing us in the sector.
We really experience the hardships of the education sector, especially the administrators' survival. We are partner of the government in nation building, and we hope that the government will continue to assist us, especially in facilitating our students to continue their studies amidst the pandemic. And also we need cooperation between parents, students, and other stakeholders in the academy.
First, I think education must move with the digital world. No doubt about it. Now, let's take this opportunity in this pandemic to revolutionize education to EdTech. And I think educators in schools like the UST should be the prime mover here. Now, remember, technology is an enemy. It's not intended actually to replace teachers, but really to enhance learning. So the role of technology is to enhance rather than replace human teachers' capabilities and human interaction.
If there is one thing that this pandemic had taught us, and you know what is that? It has made us realize that there are many pathways towards learning. And personally, I'm always an advocate of moving away of too much structure and too much formality in teaching and learning. Because if we give so much focus on that, much of the time what we are doing is just a compliance and not a real joy of teaching and learning.
So we need to think together in order to shape the future that we want. And we want to achieve education that heals, repairs, repurposes, and renews. So these are the things that we look at having that ecosystem that really works to transform the kind of education that we need.
Because the only way that we are going to solve these problems is with empowered global publics around the world. And the only way those publics can be empowered is if we have highly functioning educational systems that give people the tools, not just to learn, which is critically important, but to learn, to engage, to be citizens of their countries, to be informed citizens of the world.
Toward this end, we manifest our collective appreciation to the organizers of this webinar series in forging strategic pathways for our academe, alumni, industry, and government to come together for a common good, a desire to create transformative and transforming educators in our midst. Especially, we manifest the following belief statements to the ideals as expressed in AAIG's manifestation of solidarity from the various education stakeholders.
Yung amin pong isinusulong na magpatuloy pong mangarap ang ating mga anak, kolehiyo man o sa high school o elementarya, ay pwede pa rin pong mangyari dahil ang kanila pong pangarap ay pwedeng mangyari dahil sa pagpapatuloy po ng ating edukasyon sa gitna ng pandemya ito. Mabuhay po kayo, mabuhay po ang University of Santo Tomas Alumni Association, mabuhay po ang kabataang Filipino. Salamat po.